like a test just to see if it's going to record.
Yeah.
I don't know. It should, but
cool.
Anyways, so yeah, alert system.
Alert system. Yeah. So then did you hear after the alert came on about this escaped prisoner? Then did you hear, I don't know, maybe like half hour, 45 minutes later, did you hear the police cars go by?
No, last night?
Yeah.
Oh, like at close to 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
No,
you didn't hear that? No, I was still awake. I had a hard time getting back to sleep after that.
Yeah. So last night at around 12 o'clock, we had the phone alert system came on to let everyone know that there's an escaped convict or something like that, and that he might be coming to the Halifax
region.
So
yeah. Well, apparently he was like charged with like attempted murder and all kinds of like aggravated assault, I think, as well. So
yeah. So are like
nice
all the people on the streets in the States going out there doing their crazy stuff. Anyways, but then we got an alert at 10 o'clock this morning saying he was caught. So
yay!
Streets are now free and clear.
Safe
and sound.
Safe to go out.
Yeah, crazy, except for COVID and then lung cancer from the pollution and then skin cancer from the sun.
Okay.
There's just all those. There's just a few other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so welcome back to the Nut Up Show.
Yeah.
And we just have a few things to talk about, I think, this week. Just kind of recap what happened this week in terms of what we're doing fitness-wise. More so for me, because I maybe have more specific goals in terms of weight loss. But then, of course, obviously, still have goals.
But it was still like a pretty busy week for us.
It was?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, we started the yoga.
Can't remember.
We started the yoga challenge.
Yes, that's right.
So that was like a new add-on.
So here's the thing. I don't know what happened. So my whole point behind doing this, and like I don't even know how I should phrase this. So I'm the type of person that when I go into something, I go into it pretty hard. And then especially when it comes to fitness, it's just like, or like martial arts, like I just want to do as much as I can, as fast as I can, so I can improve as quickly as I can. So that's a stupid thing. And I gotta fix this stupid cheap cables. And this time I was like, okay, well, I'll slow down my training so that way I don't get hurt or injured, or at least to minimize my chances of getting injured. And so I haven't been doing very much, even though like I'll do my 100 repetitions of all these different types of exercises. I am still sorry. Is this thing cutting? It's still cutting out. This is annoying. I'm sorry.
It's just anytime you move, just try not to move.
Well, I'm trying. Try not to move. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm doing my 100 exercises of all these different moves. Well, like 5 or 6 different moves, but it's like something happened after we went on for a run, and I don't know what it was. I mean, I think it was yoga, but like my back just got shot again, and it's just like back to this. Like it wasn't as bad as it was like in Sudbury, but it's still pretty bad. Where it's like something happened, and like I haven't done anything that's been that strenuous. I mean, I'm still losing weight. I'm just, like I said.
Do you think it was the run? Because like I was really surprised. Like you didn't stop. You ran that whole 5K, and to not have done it before, like it could, maybe that's something that.
But I mean, it was only half an hour's worth of exercise, and it's not like I'm not active. I mean, I haven't done any cardio in a while, but I'm always moving, playing squash or tennis and on the elliptical even. I don't run per se because I know it's really bad on my knees and I get knee pain, like really bad.
Really bad, yeah.
And 2 days after, it's like I couldn't even walk, so I can't even really train to improve the time.
Yeah.
But like maybe, like the impact, but like I'm thinking, so like you were saying, we started yoga. Yeah. So we're giving that a shot to like a more of a serious shot. Like we've started and stopped before, but this time it's like, okay, can we start from the beginning? Learn the basics, I guess, ease into it, and then slowly over time improve our flexibility and mobility, stuff that is really important. And so I'm very careful to not do any stupid lower back bends. Like what's
the cobra?
Well, what's the way the flexion when you hyperextend the spine? Like if you're laying on your stomach and you try to bend up, right? To flexion your spine. Again, I don't know the
terms. Yeah.
But anyways, stupid. I'm gonna snap.
Okay.
Anyways,
easy now.
So it's cutting out. Yeah. See, I don't even know why it's doing this. Like I'm not moving. Am I moving? I can hear that.
Yeah,
that's really bad.
Good. Good now.
Yeah, it's good now. So when they were doing those poses in yoga, like there was one day where there was like, I guess the cobra, and I was doing them not very much, but just a little bit, just to almost try to get a stretch in my arms and my chest. Yeah. But then the next day, like my back was just in like immense pain. Yeah. And like, I've always been careful not to do those stupid things. And I'm doing my back exercises every morning for, you know, it takes about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, trying to strengthen out the muscles all around my spine. And then I do that. And it's like, really? Was that it?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't
know. But yeah, I don't think you should be doing like that, the upward dog or cobra.
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't think that's gonna.
Upward dog, what's that?
Well, you can be in cobra, which is just like you're laying down, but like your upper body's off. But then the upward dog was the one where you have like your knee. It's the same idea as cobra, but like you're off your knees and your thighs. So that's like. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I don't think I even did that anyways.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. I'm just saying it's like the same idea. Movement. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So like yoga is like, and this is why I've always started and stopped, because it's like, I don't know if it's right for me because of my back. Things, and so, but I know like stretching and mobility, flexibility, it's so important too. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I have to just be really careful about what I'm doing whenever it's doing anything with the back. Like when they do all those side bends and stuff like that, like those twists, like it's not good to put that pressure on a spine, but when it's
already.
Yeah. And even like, I remember reading the Stuart McGill book about like back. He's, you know, this guy who's spent his whole career like treating people for spinal injuries and all that kind of stuff. So he's really world renowned in terms of relieving people with back pain. Yeah. He came up with those three exercises that you should do every day. And in that book, he's talking about yoga, and he's like, people would come to him saying like, oh, I have all these problems with my spine when I'm trying to do these moves. And he's like, just don't do those moves. Why are you trying to bend like that? Like the body's not meant to bend that way. So obviously you're putting all this pressure. So you probably shouldn't. So for me, it's like, I know it's like any of those twists and stuff I just can't do, but you know, other stretches and other moves, you know, that are good, you know, stuff to open up the hips, especially because people that are sitting, you know, you're not engaged. Like, I guess when you're sitting, you're not engaging your glutes, you're not engaging your hamstrings, or they are, but they're just like they're just stagnant in that one position. Yeah. So the one side, I should figure out which one exactly, but one of the muscles that go onto your hip at the front, those ones stay tight, and the ones on the back are more elongated. So like you can't have that flexibility in your hips to get yourself to stand straight, which gets that arch anyway. So like one side's tight, the other side's loose, and then there's just a huge imbalance, which causes extra pressure on your spine to try to keep everything aligned. And then like, I know for me, like over years and years of bad posture and sitting down, then all of a sudden then it gets pain. Yeah. So, and it's not something that you can fix easily. Obviously, I've been trying to fix it for forever. And it's like, and it's almost impossible because I'm still doing that. Like, even if I'm sitting, even though I'm trying to be conscious and have everything tight, it's still, you're still sitting. I'm in this position for hours and hours a day. So even if it's not in a row, so it's going to, you know, it's like it took 10, 20 years to get to this point of damage. You know, how long is it going to take to repair? So it's frustrating, really frustrating, because I can't train for other things. So I don't know, but I'm still losing weight which is again, it's how food is such an important factor. It's like 90% of it, you know, like it depends on who you are, but like it could be 100% of it. Like I always say, you know, quickest way to lose weight is just stop eating. Right. So it doesn't matter how much, workouts and stuff you do. I mean, if you're crazy and you want to still eat, but then you want to work out and burn all those extra calories and that energy, then sure. Yeah. But it's a lot easier to just not eat than to like run for like days and days on end kind of thing, right? Just to sweat it out, right? So how do you want to move forward then with the yoga and the running? What do you want to do? Well, the running, I'm still going to do it. So my knees, the running is not so much my back, it's the knees. Yeah. So the knees are gotten better. I've been icing them, and now I think we're just going to train for it. Like I'm just going to do some smaller runs and probably some hills is just all I'm going to do, and then just run it again. I wish gyms could open up so then I could go like on the rowing machine or like the elliptical. Gyms are open. Not the ones that we go to, so I'm not going to buy another membership to a different gym. So Doll's not open yet? Not yet. That's interesting. And the one down here in the basement's not open. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah, so that sucks. You know, I'm not going to go to Good Life just so I can. Well, of course not. You know. Yeah. Well, no, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you want to train for it? Do you want to go do some like hill runs
once.
Yeah, I might. Yeah. And so like, I mean, this is a competition. You do your training, I'll do my training. And then I'll see you at the finish line.
Jeez.
No, yeah, like that's pretty much it, right? And of course, squats and all that kind of stuff is going to help with your legs. But for me, yeah, it's really the cardio to help. And then, of course, not getting my knees shot at the end of the race, which I don't know if I can. I don't think there's anything I do for that, really. Yeah. Except to just ice them up and try to rest up for, 3 weeks from now or 3.5 weeks, whenever we have to go do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a little bit of research because, well, when I trained for the half marathon, like they had different types of runs you would do each week to kind of work on improving your time, which I didn't really care about back then. I just wanted to finish.
Yeah, just want to finish.
So, but now like kind of rereading that stuff and the different types of runs you would do and the different types of exercises to do to try and improve.
So what are you doing?
Strength. So I'm doing some of these like plyometric things, which I freaking hate because they're just so hard.
It's like lunges basically and stuff.
Jump lunges, squat jumps, like one-legged burpees and that sort of thing. And I hate it. I hate it. But that's why I hate it, because it's challenging.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's what you do for lots of martial arts as well, too, to get those.
Yeah, so then I think so then I think I'll do some hill runs and then, just do like sprint runs.
Yeah.
Every 400, like sprint for 400 and then like walk and then sprint again. Yeah. And just like improve it that way.
I think if we can do something like that in the field, where there's grass. Because maybe the concrete, like me slamming on the concrete, I was going to say that I don't think it's very good either. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be better. Or if the gym here opens up and you can go down and go on the treadmill.
And we could do our 5K there on a treadmill instead.
Well, we could.
We want to keep the same.
But I was going to say, I don't think it'll, So but I'm just saying even like if it would open up so I could go down there and do sprints, because then it's, the distance right away instead of having to like look at your watch every time.
Well, I mean, what I think of the grass is like, if we just pick a distance, right? You just run it, run across the field.
Yeah.
And that's one sprint. Like, who cares really what the distance? I think it's more the consistency of.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, as long as it's enough of a distance or whatever.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that'll be good. That'll be fun. Like, I always love running hills. Like, I love that kind of short bursts of high intensity. I just find that a lot better than the steady state stuff. Steady state stuff is just boring.
No, I like it.
Yeah. So we're different in that way.
It's not boring for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just, No, I hate that. That's super, I hate it. Oof.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I like it. We should do more of it.
Yeah. Well, when the gym was open down here, like I would do like 1 minute sprints and like put that in my workout. So, but I can't. It's harder to force yourself just without the treadmill going. Like
this treadmill, if you stop and you're flying off.
Yeah. So, but I was getting like super, like I was like really upping my speed and I was getting super fast. Yeah. So, but now like I've definitely lost it because
haven't been able to
go there for like 3 months. So hopefully they'll open the gym in the building soon. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I don't see it happening anytime soon, to be honest.
Well, it's weird, but anyways.
It's all really weird. I mean, there's like no cases here anymore for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's strange.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Like it is what it is. And you just try to deal with it any way you can. There's always alternatives. Like I said, at least it's a good thing, I think, that it's summertime. Because we can actually go out and run around. If this is wintertime and being locked up, it just kind of sucks.
It'd be the worst.
I mean, well, who's to say things aren't going to be like that in the wintertime in the future. So oh, yeah, I don't know. It's really weird, but you plug away. So, so the running's good. How are you finding the yoga?
It's different because we're doing this aloe yoga.
Yeah, so we purchased it's a free trial now anyways, but we might just get the package if we're liking it. Yeah. So aloe moves,
Yeah, so it's okay. I really did like yoga with Adrienne because I would do a lot of her. I've just found like lately like her newer stuff, I don't know, it's just not as good. It's too I don't know what it is that's changed lately with her, but it's just not as good. Yeah. But like her other challenges were really good, and I liked how she would talk through it and kind of she had like a nice personality. Yeah. She does have a nice personality, so that's what I really liked about her. But I like and I felt like sometimes she she explains things a bit better and a bit more slower, and allows you to get into the pose a bit better. Like this one's okay too.
Well, we just started on one person and one of their kind of things. And the reason why I liked and want to get this is because it has like actual courses and it's like kind of laid out.
Yeah.
Whereas people that have YouTube videos, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's not
it's just like how do I follow this? Or like after this is done,
what do I move on to? Well, and that's what I find with her too. Like it's kind of all like one level. Like she shows you like, oh, if you can go down into this, then do this. But it's still, I feel like there's like no, it's not like a course where you're kind of progressing into things.
Yeah, and that's it's a different type of learning. It depends on what you're doing too. Like so this one's good. Like, for example, if you want to learn handstands, it's like, well, there's a whole series on like, and different people do it too. It's like, this is my course on how you can progress your handstand. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to do the class once and then you're going to have a handstand, but it's like, you just follow, it's just, it's strictly laid out. And the thing is when you pay for something, it's usually a little bit more organized and clear and concise than when you're trying to hunt together and put pieces together on free YouTube. And that being said, it's still great to have the free resources there, but it's like, now, you know what, for the $10 a month or whatever it is, we'll just have it so it's organized. I don't have to spend all this time
searching around.
Time is money in the sense, right? It's just there and it's organized.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. That's what I do really like about it, is because it is really organized. And like going through the videos that we went through this week, like I felt like I have kind of like a better understanding of
because learning kind of the basics and stuff.
Because even just like with like putting your hands down and how to, she really explained that really well. Like yoga with Adrienne, like she would explain like to how to have your hands, but not in the detail that this lady did, which I found really helpful because she's right. You're on your hands like most of the time. Yep. So it was, that was a good lesson.
How you gotta
to keep your.
So it's not. I think you're saying this one. I think it's like this one.
It's this one,
and these ones can go up a little bit because, like, I know when you're doing handstands, like you have to, when you're falling this way, you have to push down this way. So you have to have motion there. Because you can't just keep that flat. So it's just like you're squeezing a little bit.
So it's
and then these knuckles, these ones,
the bottom ones,
are like always touching it. Anyways, but it's important to know how to get that right.
How to get it properly, and just to bring awareness there. So no, I'm enjoying it. So
nice. Again, for the most part I like it, and if there's something that doesn't make sense for me, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go into any kind of folds that are going to hurt me. So I mean, there's different types of hurt. There's hurt because it's a good stretch and your muscles are super tight, versus this is like hurting me. Stop now. So
because even
to be aware of your own body,
because even like I said, like I found some of those, it wasn't the cobra, it was the cobra. The up dog was easier for me than the cobra. I just found the cobra, it wasn't a good stretch pain. It just doesn't feel good.
So on the lower back, it's so much pressure. Like your spine's not meant to bend that way. Like it's just not, right? It doesn't compress that way, because you have all those, what are those? I should know this vertebrae? Because I taught. Well, you have your vertebrae, but then you have those spines that kind of stick out at the back of them too, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what those, but there's, you have the disc, and then you have the piece. It's like when you bend that way, you hyperextend, like they fold on each other. Like they're not supposed to. There's only so much that you can do. So like it's just not a good move for your spine health. I guess it's good for your flexibility, but is that a good thing to be able to bend backwards?
What is how is it functional, I guess, would be
I don't know. But then again, there's other books too that talk about like back bridges and stuff and how that's good for your strengthening your spine. So but those ones you don't necessarily fold as much as you do when you're doing like a cobra. So I don't know. More research and more testing and playing around is required. So for me on that one anyways.
But I'm enjoying it, and it's nice to do it together. It's
and it's trying to build a habit too, because there's a couple days too where like, I don't want to do this.
So
I'll do it anyways.
I was like, are you sure your back's okay? Do you really want to do it?
You're trying to weasel your way out. But you got to keep going. No shortcuts.
So
so do you have something?
I was just gonna say the funny. Do you want to say the funny anecdote?
Go ahead, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so we were filming the intro for the yoga video.
Yes. Okay. I think I know where you're going with this.
And so it was funny because I had a good idea, and I was like listing off like different yoga moves, and then you were gonna
positions.
And then you said and I said, well, you say like the funny thing from, say like another funny move, but it was like rusty trombone from 40-year-old virgin.
It's not. They didn't invent it. It's an actual.
Well, yeah.
Term, but it's in there. It's in lots of things, but yeah.
Yeah, and what would you call that? Like just like a
rusty trombone?
Like a no, don't like, explain it. Don't explain it.
Well, why not? If people don't understand.
Well,
okay, so do you know what a trombone is?
No, you don't explain it. Don't explain it.
All right.
Don't explain it. It's like a yucky sex move, basically.
Well, it's yucky for some. It's pleasurable for some other people.
Sure. Okay, fair.
Anyways, yeah. So whatever.
So we just thought, it's like a funny part of the intro. And so of course the kids are like milling about when we're filming this and hear us say this. Of course they don't understand. And so then a couple days later, we're on our yoga mats doing yoga. And Tristan's like, so are you guys gonna do the rusty trombone?
Like, yep.
Oh my God, I could not stop laughing.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was so hilarious. Pretty funny. Oh, it was good. Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was a good anecdote we had to tell. It was so hilarious. Really, oh my God, that kid.
Just the way he says it too, right? Like,
I know.
Well, it's a good move. You guys should practice that one. It's good. Why not? It's really good.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah. So I have something to talk about, switching gears completely. To talk a little bit about finances and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. So I'm thinking about how to structure this in terms of videos, and there's videos that I'm going to release in the near future. I don't know exactly when yet because I'm still kind of developing the strategy. But in terms of like one of our goals, it's there's financial freedom, but there's also like early retirement. You know, you hear all these guys, you know, they're 25 years old, they retire or whatever. So, and there's like kind of 3 core ways to get there. Like number 1, it's like completely reduce and minimize your income or your expenses, right? Yeah. Because the more money you can save, the more money you can have in your pocket. And it's easier to save money than it is to go out and make more money. Because some people have the mindset of like, okay, well, I need to see how much I can save off my budget. And other people are like, well, this is my budget, so I need to figure out how I can make more money. Yeah. So there's 2 different things about it. And not that each of them are wrong, but when you save $1, you're saving $1. But when you go out and make $1, you're not really making $1 because you're getting taxed. Yeah. So you should get taxed at 40%. Then you go buy something with that $1, then you get taxed another 14% or whatever. Yeah. So like when you make $1, you're actually really making 50 cents. So yeah. Easier. I kind of almost have a parallel to when you think about losing weight, how, like I said earlier, it's easier to not eat than it is to eat something and then work really hard for like 2 hours on the treadmill to burn off what you just ate, right? Yeah. Like what's easier in the long run, right? So there's 2 schools of thought. So the first thing is really be as frugal as you can kind of thing. And then it's like, okay, well, how can you generate the cash flow or whatever to make that money, make more money. And then, well, whatever. Anyways, I don't want to get too far into these other steps. Yeah. So in terms of budget for us, so we know that our bare bones living expenses as it is right now is about $3,000. Like that's what we need to live kind of as we're living right now. And over 50% of that is like just our living expenses. Yeah. Right. We have to pay our rent, our hydro, whatever, right? Yeah. So utilities. So that's a big chunk of what our expenses, and we're pretty frugal as is. And people see like our budget is like, we don't go to the movies. We do like now we don't go anywhere, but even before then, it wasn't very often. We never eat out like ever. No, we don't eat out. Like we don't spend money on like anything other than like essentials for the most part. Every once in a while I'll do something stupid, but so we're quite frugal compared to a lot of other people that like restaurants $400 or $500 a day. Our car payments is like as minimal car we have. Even that I'm like, I don't want to even have a car payment. But anyways, you're going to say something?
I was going to say, to be fair, like there's a couple reasons why we are not restaurant people, but
yeah, I used to work there, and I just
no. Well, I mean, with Tristan having autism, I remember the one time we went out to a restaurant, it was like a shit show.
That was probably the last time I went to a restaurant, which was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then also because
like all 4 of us, anyways.
Yeah, and then because he's
that's not true. We did go when we went on our camping trip or whatever, but that was different because we're.
And then I was gonna say he's gluten-free, dairy-free, so that also has like a lot of challenges with it. So that's just to be clear, it's not because it's for a couple of different reasons.
Yeah, so it's basically it's very rare. We cook our own food, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So anyways, the point is of what I want to say today is that, so our bare budget, like how much we need is like 3,000. And if you expand that over 12 months, that's $36,000 a year. So if there was a way that somehow the magic cash fairy gave us $36,000 a year.
There's a magic cash fairy?
Yeah, of course there is. Sweet. Of course there is. So if we had that, then we could basically live infinitely.
Yeah.
Right. So working back, it's like, okay, well, how much money would you need in some type of investment pile or whatever, that if you withdrew from it, it would give you that $36,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then, that money could just sit there and you could pull from it. So, and generally you can probably get around 4% return on any investment. That's like pretty much safe and guaranteed. Like you could put it in some kind of bond or something that's guaranteed 4% return, boom, you have it. So if you had $1 million cash at 4%, that's $40,000 a year. So if we had $1 million cash somehow, right? Whatever, we get $1 million, put it away at 4% return annually, we can pull out $40,000 and meet our bare minimum of expenses. And then we could retire off of $1 million. If we win the lottery, $1 million, put it whatever, we can retire. So the goal really then is to make $1 million. And how could we make $1 million so that we can get to this place of financial freedom? So what I'm trying to put together and brainstorm,
so
we're thinking
street corner for you?
I mean, that is a way.
Okay.
That is a way.
Okay.
Becoming a gigolo. Yes, that's going to be a lot of, if you're okay with that, then you got to do what you got to do. So trying to devise ways on how we could get to that point of getting to $1 million as fast as possible, which will give us that flexibility and freedom to basically do whatever we want, wherever we want, right? So, and obviously there's things to do like, well, how can you cut down your living expenses? If our living expenses are $1,500, how can we bring it down to $700 or even nothing, right? So, and one of the things, of course, that we think about is like real estate. So there's real estate, can we buy a house and rent out the basement to a family, or there's something along those lines where there's other strategies that people have where they'll buy a property, fix it up, rent it out. They'll have the equity from fixing it out or whatever. And then with that, you refinance, use that money, buy another property, so on and so forth. Well, within whatever years, then you have a portfolio of houses that are worth, $1 million or whatever. Yeah. So, real estate, there's lots of different ways to do things in real estate, lots of different kind of avenues. So that's something that we're thinking about. It's like, is real estate going to be an avenue that we can go ahead and get our financial independence and freedom? So there's that. Then there's also like just straight up investing. Can we invest? And I've been doing a little bit of research on people that they do like day trading, like stocks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that kind of stuff is, for me, it's like, I don't think there's any way I'd ever be able to Warren Buffett this stuff and get anywhere better than the market return. Like I've had a few things too. Like I remember way before, like I think it was in January, I'm like, I wish I had like, $50,000 to just throw into Zoom, because I would buy Zoom stock. And when I said that, again, it's gone up like, I don't know how many hundreds of percentiles since then. Right. And that would have been an easy way to would have like times 5, times 7 my money right there, like little things like that. Like I remember before, way back in the day, I wanted to buy Tesla stock. I'm like, I want to buy this guy. He's crazy. Like it was just amazing. And back when they were like $100 a share, and now they're like, what, 1,000, just under 1,000 maybe. I don't know. Right. So like could easily have 10 extra money there, but we don't have that kind of cash, and that's kind of riskier stuff. So and the markets, like, just like straight index funds, I think are fine. Just go with the market. So, but that's a slower way to get there. And I don't think that's going to be, you still invest obviously, but I don't think that's going to be a way for us to get to that $1 million as fast as we can. So, so anyways, just to state right now is that just kind of putting our heads together and trying to figure out how we can get to this point of financial freedom. It's going to revolve around somehow creating some type of company or some kind of business, so that we can have all the tax advantages or whatever of having this corporation that can go about and do all this kind of stuff on our behalf. And what that looks like, don't really know right now, but thinking about it, because that's a big part of nutting up is having that financial freedom and being able to live the life that's true to yourself, I guess. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like for me with my back, like I don't have a choice. I have to work and I have to sit down at a computer all day. Yeah. And if it were up to me, if I have these spells where I on the back, like I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to lay in a hot tub for a week or something like that, or just do something, just be in a pool, swimming, and just kind of doing low gravity, low impact stuff to try to heal and recover. But the way things are, I can't, So that's kind of something that's in the pipe. Well, it's not kind of, it is in the pipeline, and it's something that I want to start talking about and sharing, because I think it's fascinating. There's so many people on YouTube and wherever that are like, they're like, well, this is how I made my millions, or this is how I retired when I was 26 in real estate, or whatever. And that's great. I love seeing their videos and their stories, and all their advice and everything makes perfect sense. But no one shows the like, okay, I'm going to try and do this now. And like, let's see all, because everyone's like, oh, well, I make mistakes. Oh, there's hardships. Because they're like, they'll say their stories like, oh yeah, I got called at 3 a.m. because the pipe burst on the house. And like that stuff happens. It's great. But like, imagine actually seeing it and like seeing someone going through the process of like, oh, I'm working 100 hours a week or whatever. It's like, what does it look like? Is it worth it? Because it is a lot. It's so much work to do that kind of stuff. You hear these people hustling, having all these different properties, and it's not an easy money.
It's not just set it and forget it.
You can get lucky in the sense of what the market is like, but if you're smart enough with real estate anyways, you get good tenants and whatever, people are always going to be renting, unless the whole world crashes, right? And whether the market goes up or down, as long as you're not selling, people are still renting. Yeah, exactly. And in times when the markets are bad, when housing might be going down, people aren't buying, then they're renting. Yeah. Somebody's got to live somewhere, right? So I don't know. It's, so anyways, I'm leaning towards that because that seems like the best idea. The other idea I had is becoming a professional low stakes poker player. I know that's always been on your list. Because I always make money, except little times where I lose a little bit here and there. I've made almost like $8,000 to $10,000 playing poker. No, I know. Back when I was playing it seriously. Yeah. So I'm just saying. But again, right, ideas. But I don't like that because it's sitting on a computer all day. So. There's lots of moving parts to this. Yeah. But
real estate's always been something that I've been interested in. I don't feel like I want to fall asleep when we talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's always something that's interesting to me. And here in Nova Scotia, like housing is so much cheaper than it is in Ontario.
Well, it depends on where in Ontario, but yeah. Yeah. But you got to be careful too. I have to learn, like at least Ontario, we lived in there for forever. And I know like the areas and I know the market. And here I don't know.
Here, there's some areas. Lots of research to figure out. Yeah, definitely. But then you have the added bonus of hopefully if tourism opens back up of like things like an Airbnb or something like that.
But even that, right? I don't know what the market is like. How good is it? Like I don't right now know
it's
how
pretty shitty, I'm sure.
Well, no, I know, but I mean that's the thing, right? It's like what is the goal? Like our that's like, is the goal to buy something and renovate or build or whatever to rent it out as an Airbnb, or do you want more of a family home that's more in the city that's like you can just like have a family live in there and they pay the $1,600 a month. And
I think
so. There's lots of different avenues and lots of things to consider. Because what I do know is I don't want to buy a house to just buy a house because that's another. It's just another. Then it's. Like there's assets and liability. A lot of people are like, houses aren't assets. I'm like, house is not an asset because it just takes money out of your pocket. If we go right now, we have our rent and then we go buy a house and then we just have to pay mortgage on a house. Yeah. How's that going to help us get to that $1 million to have that nest egg? Yeah. Even if the house is worth $1 million, what is it? It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Because you don't have that liquid assets. It's just taking money out of your pocket every single month. Yeah. So, in that situation, it's a liability. So, but if you buy a house and you rent it out, all of a sudden it becomes an asset because it's generating cash flow. Yeah. So, anyways, lots to think about. Lots to go over. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, so if anyone listening has any ideas and suggestions, concerns, caveats, and like horror stories about
or if anyone just wants to give us $1 million.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way. Well, like I said, I do like your original Work the Street Corner because I get to get money and have fun with suspect people at the same time. Is it fun? Would it be fun?
No.
I just think of that. What was that? Adam Sandler and what's the guy's name? What's the guy that's always with Rob Schneider? Mm-hmm. It was Deuce Bigelow, American Gigolo, or something like that. I don't remember that one. It's just really bad, but it's just Rob Schneider. His character sees a guy. He's like a male gigolo, whatever, and he's just, of course, all of his clients are like these like supermodel looking. I could be remembering this wrong, but they're all like supermodel looking type girls.
Yeah,
he's like, well, I could do this, whatever. And then the girls that he gets are like
not so
the
much.
opposite. Is like whatever. But of course, it ends up being like a heartfelt whatever kind of thing, right? Like,
of course it does.
But yeah, so like be a gigolo if it's all like supermodels, no problem. But if
supermodels are not the ones, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. There's, anyways, I don't want to get into that too, but I've heard stuff too where there's like, okay. So sure. Why not? We'll talk about it. Just real quick. It was, I don't know where it was. It was in like a news article, and it was talking about like specific service. Cause there's stuff like now that if you're like a sugar daddy or whatever, like you can go on these websites and you could date.
Oh no, I've heard about like college women doing this.
Oh, and this is stuff
to
like
pay for
Waterloo
college.
and Toronto, like
yeah,
this is like local stuff. Yeah. So they go, it's not like a service, but it's like you just go out with them and they just buy you really expensive stuff, right? So there's the unwritten rule that if I'm going to be your girlfriend on the side, that you're going to be buying me all these nice shoes and whatever that are thousands of dollars, right? But stupid thinking. Okay. No, not good. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
So yeah, with is it like an escort? It's different though, right? Because it's not like a one night thing. It's like a whatever. So, but anyway, so there's that. And the one other thing that I heard on the other side in terms of females looking for companionship, it was like some guy talking about his business or whatever, where he goes and he targets like higher end business women that are always kind of going off onto conferences or whatever, that are lonely or whatever, and they want to have companionship on these business trips, right? So it's like you're getting these higher profile women that are all business but want that companionship, right? So they'll go in there, take them out for dinner and like whatever it is, right? So I could do something like that. I could get behind doing something like that,
No,
I can't. 5,000 a night.
No, thank you.
Nope. 2,000?
Nope.
$50. Please. Anyways, so but it's interesting on all these. I won't say businesses, but it is just all these kinds of services that you wouldn't think would be out there, but they're out there,
Yeah.
And it's not something that you find on the Tinder pages or whatever, which is
sugardaddy.com.
Is that what it is? I'm sure it probably is.
Pretty sure.
Have you gone? Are you thinking about it? Well, hey,
No, thank you.
Anyways, hey, teach their own. Like I don't have any. If you're gonna do that, I don't have any problems with that.
It's fine. Someone wants
to. Your business.
Your
business is your business.
Yep.
I'm not sticking my nose in your business. Sticking my nose in your trombone business.
Oh, stop.
All right. So, anyways, so I guess with that picture in your head.
Oh, jeez.
So make that money. Spank it and tank it.
Money. I don't know I don't either. So to another good week.
Another good week. Yeah. So what do we got this week? I'm going to probably releasing a video on my updates on how I'm doing so far with weight loss, which is going pretty good because I've lost, since that first video, I think I've lost 7 pounds since then. And it hasn't even been a week. So kind of like a pound a day.
You're doing awesome. You've been so good.
So so that's going on. And I'll probably do a video on our yoga just to show everybody what's going on.
Yeah. And we have another video to do too.
Yeah. We got lots of videos to do. Lots of stuff scheduled. So
good
stuff happening.
Good stuff happening.
So stay tuned. Thank you for watching over there. Really appreciate it. Sticking to the end. High five.
Yay.
All right, there we go. I can't touch my thing.
It'll
it'll scream at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have a great week.
Have a good week.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
See you next time.